Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about how we homestead as a family with young kids, because I know firsthand that homesteading with little children can be a bit of a challenge sometimes, especially when you've had a terrible night's sleep and you've still got to get up and feed the animals in the morning. So that's what I wanted to talk to you about today. I just wanted to tell you how I do it in hopes that it'll encourage you to get homesteading as well. So how do we do it? So we are very fortunate, we being my husband, my two girls and I, we're very fortunate that we live with my parents and some of my siblings as well. So a lot of the homesteading workload does get divided up between all of us, but that's not to say if it wasn't just my husband and I that we wouldn't be doing this, because we totally would. So I don't want you to feel discouraged and like you can't do this because you don't have help around you, because you so can. Hi baby, do you want to come over and sit with me? Because I'm filming, honey. Do you want to come sit with me? I'm doing a video, it's recording now. Okay, where were we? So currently my husband Ben works full-time, so he doesn't really help with the day-to-day running of the homestead, simply because he doesn't need to. But being handy on the tools makes him the perfect person to make all of our homesteading projects come to life. I started out as sort of the driving force behind our homesteading journey. So I spent the last 10 plus years working with farm animals for a children's entertainment business. So naturally when we moved here and there was a chicken coop, we got chickens, no big deal. Then mum got into gardening and started out with a small veggie patch. And now that I'm no longer working since having my second, I've been praying and dreaming of what kind of lifestyle we want here and what are the next steps for our family. But yeah, I'm sort of the dreamer and planner, where I have all of these ideas, but it's definitely a team effort to execute them. My main focus and priority is on meeting my children's physical and emotional needs. Especially while they're still young, I feel like that's really important. Of course, homesteading is a lifestyle I want to raise my children in, and the chores that come with that of course need doing, but they're always going to be second to my children's needs. So a lot of the time it just turns out in our household that if I'm getting the girls breakfast, that someone else might be ready first and go and feed the animals. Or if we're all out gardening and my girls require my attention, I simply have to put a pause on it and go and help them and finish up later, or someone else might finish up the job, or sometimes my mum or my siblings might help with the girls while I quickly finish up. So that's just how it works in our family. Now I'm really blessed that some of my siblings are still children themselves, so with being that tiny bit older than my girls, they can all play together, and that allows me to get stuff done on the homestead as well. But there are times where it's just me, my girls, and chores that need doing on the homestead. So I just want to talk about some practical ways where I get stuff done while also meeting my girls' needs. So the first sort of thing is keeping everything low maintenance. And so what I mean by that is pretty much because of where we are in life in our homesteading journey, we're keeping everything very low maintenance. Sorry, Elena's just running across the field at the moment. I don't know if you can see her over there. Oh, where are you? She must have been looking for some mock berries or something. What's that? The mock berries made you burp? Yeah. But yeah, so because of where we are in our homesteading journey and in life as well, all of the homesteading we do is pretty low maintenance with the day-to-day running of it. So if ever my family were away or anything and it was just up to me to run the homestead, I would be okay. So looking after our laying flock and meat chickens really doesn't take that long. It only takes about 20 minutes a day. And then watering the garden can obviously vary depending on the weather and everything, but that can take around 30 minutes a day, because most of our garden is set up with a sprinkler system, so all we've got to do is turn them on. And then it's just over here on the wild side that we need to run hoses out to. So all of this is pretty easy. I can do it on my own, and I can just bring the girls out with me with baby on my hip, or both the girls can be in the pram, or baby in the front pack, just whatever works that day. This is also how I continue to work with my first, so it seems so natural and easy to me just to be able to chuck the baby in the front pack at home and get on with it. The stuff that takes the most time to get done is prepping the garden beds, putting more soil in, weeding, things like that, and chicken proofing. Can't forget chicken proofing. So this is usually where my planning will come in, and I'll often ask the troops to come and help me get done whatever needs doing. And because we want all of the children in the house to have a really good work ethic, we include everyone in household chores, and depending on their ages and abilities, they all have responsibilities. Yeah, so whether that's feeding the laying hens or moving the meat chickens or watering the garden or coming out and helping weeding and things like that, everyone helps on the homestead. For my wee girls who are 1 and 3, it's all about just tagging along and watching and learning. Mind you, my 3-year-old is happy to help a lot of the time. She's pretty impressive. So my 3-year-old will often come out and help with some weeding or planting or harvesting, just because that's fun stuff she really enjoys. And when she's had enough, then she will just go away and play on her swing or the trampoline nearby. So I can just keep going and checking on her, but she's really independent at playing, so she's just happy as, and I can just carry on and get stuff done. So with the baby, obviously their needs are a lot more than with older kids, so I try and get a lot done while she's sleeping, but if she is with me, I'll just pop her down, sit her beside me, and I often give her a toy to play with, and if she gets cranky, then I can put her in the front pack. Baby wearing is something I find really helpful. I can just put her on and carry on with what I'm doing. The only downside to baby wearing is that sometimes it can be a little bit tricky squatting and things like that, but it's definitely a great way to get more things done than just holding her and just not being able to get anything done at all. For the older boys, they're great at doing heavy lifting jobs and things like getting soil for me. So they are also mainly responsible for keeping our woodshed nice and full. So my grandpa will usually fell a tree and cut it up into rounds, and then that goes to dry out. Once that's done and they're dry and all that, then my brothers will split all the wood and stack it neatly in the shed. So that's their job on the homestead. We really appreciate it, and yeah, that's great. I'm so pleased I don't have to deal with that myself. We homestead as a way to increase nutrition and reduce costs with what we eat, and so a lot of homesteading happens in the kitchen for us. The majority of that side of the homestead is run by my lovely mum, who is all over prepping dinners and making sourdough and utilising all the wonderful food we grow and stuff like that, so I'm very grateful for her. I'm hoping to get a video out soon on all the things we make from scratch, so comment below if that is something that you want to see. Now, if you're wondering what a good time would be to get stuff done in the kitchen when you've got young kids, I would definitely recommend while they're eating, because they're sitting in front of you. Usually you're having to keep an eye on them anyway for choking hazards, so I'd say that is a good time to get stuff done on the homestead in the kitchen. Otherwise, if they're just playing nicely in the lounge, that's also a good time too. So a typical day for us might look like this. Mum will get up in the morning and she likes to get the house in order first thing, and will even probably prep dinner. My first priority is getting my girls fed and their needs met, and then I often like to pop outside quickly and feed the laying hens. That's just something I enjoy doing, and often I'll come back later in the day to freshen up their water or have someone else do it, just because I'm usually short on time in the morning. And depending on the weather, either myself or my mum or my sister will water the garden. Sometimes we'll split this by doing some in the morning and some at night. Then the older kids are completely in charge of caring for the meat birds, so they will come out late morning and move the chicken tractor and feed them and clean their water. And they will also do that again in the evening as well. Once my girls' needs are met, I will often pop outside to get some gardening done, sometimes solo, sometimes with help. As you can see, having a support system to help with the young children while homesteading definitely helps, but it is so not essential. You can definitely do it alone. It is possible. You just have to be smart with what you homestead and your timing around it all. Making sure that you're meeting your kids' physical and emotional needs first, and all the homesteading stuff after. So get creative, make it exciting for them, and soon you will have little farm hands of your own. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I think YouTube wants you to watch this video, so go ahead and watch it now.